In lesson 119, we're going to continue with division. So in this one, we're going to divide by a decimal number. Before we had a decimal number as the dividend. Now we're going to also have a decimal number as the divisor. So it's really simple. You want to make sure that your divisor is a whole number every time. So that's basically it. Let's take a look at a fraction. So that's really 30 out of 60. 30 divided by 60 is the same thing as 3 divided by 6, is the same thing as 300 divided by 600, and they all equal 1/2, right? So as long as I multiply both sides by 10, divide both sides by 10, multiply both sides by 100, top and the bottom, both sides of the equal sign, I can do whatever I want. So here's my example in the book. And they want me to multiply both the dividend and the divisor by 10 so that I can make that a whole number. So remember from lesson 111 that we kind of skipped over, as long as I multiply that by 10, multiply that by 10, I'm just moving my decimal one place there. So there's my new decimal. And that looks complicated, so I'm going to rewrite my problem. 6 is the same thing as 6.0, right? So this is kind of like 3/6 and 30/60. It's the same idea. But I want my divisor, the one on the outside of the box, to be a whole number. So over, and then up. That's what I want you to remember. Over, up. Over, and then up. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that problem. Will 6 go into 2? No. Put a little X there. Will 6 go into 23? Yes. 3 times. Okay, you can do my subtraction. I'm going to borrow 1, 13, 5. Is 5 less than 6? Yes, so I can bring down. Remember, I can just ignore that decimal now that I moved it up. Will 6 go into 54? Yes, 9 times. Okay, so my answer to this problem is the same as the answer to this problem. And this is much easier to deal with because I don't have to deal with that decimal there. So over, up. Over, up. Okay, let's do another couple of examples. You might see it this way. So if you do that, you're going to say, which one goes in the box? This is the dividend. This is the divisor. So the first number always goes in the box. Or the top number if you're dealing with a fraction. Okay, so I'm trying to use 2 different colors. Over. So it goes right there. Up. Over, up. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that so it doesn't look funny. You don't have to. But doesn't that look easier to do? So I move it up, make sure. Will 3 go into 1? No. Will 3 go into 12? Yes, 4 times. So my answer is 4/10. Okay, let's do this one. Remember, the first number goes in the box. 0.36 divided by 0.4. Over, up. Really important when you're dividing to keep all of your columns lined up. If you have notebook paper and turn it sideways, that really helps. Each row on a piece of paper can become a column if you flip it sideways. Okay, rewrite my problem. Again, you don't have to, but boy, does it make it easier. Right? So that's the same thing as that. So 4 won't go into 3. 0. Will 4 go into 36? Yes, 9 times. So my answer is 9/10. Okay, one more and then we're all done. Which number goes in the box? This one, right? Okay, 0.004. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So that's 4 thousandths. So you notice how I still kind of have to count sometimes. Okay, this one's a little trickier because I'm going to have to go over, over, over. There's no decimal, so I add one. Over, over, over. So however many places I go over here, I have to do the same to there. I'm going to fill those in with zeros and then bring my decimal up. Okay. That just gets slightly more complicated, but not a whole lot. So I need more paper. So let's rewrite my problem. That turns into just a plain 4, right? My decimal's all the way at the end of that third zero. So let's see. 4 will go into 4 one time. 0 is less than 4. So 8. 4 will go into 8 2 times. Bring down 0. It's going to be a bunch of zeros, isn't it? So this problem is 12,000. Same as this problem, okay? Trick to remember, I had to move this over 3 times to get all the way to the door to make that a whole number. So I had to move this 3 times before I moved up. This I only had to move once, so I only had to move once there. So remember, however many places you move your decimal in your divisor, you have to move it the same number of places in your dividend. And that is math for the year, I believe. So good luck with everything. Continue to email me or call me if you have a question.